Have you ever wondered how COVID-19 might affect your cognitive abilities? The question is not as far-fetched as it may seem. The cognitive symptoms that follow a battle with COVID-19 are well recognized. We're talking about symptoms that affect mental processes such as memory, reasoning, and attention. However, while these symptoms are acknowledged, there are still a few gray areas. For instance, can these cognitive deficits be objectively measured? And if so, how long do they persist? These uncertainties prompted a comprehensive study aimed at answering these questions. The study was conducted in England and involved a whopping 800,000 adults. The objective was to estimate a global cognitive score across 8 tasks to see if participants with persistent symptoms showed any measurable cognitive deficits. To shed some light on this, a study was conducted in England involving 800,000 adults. In this study, participants were invited to complete an online cognitive assessment. The aim was to investigate a hypothesis, a theory, if you will, about the cognitive aftermath of COVID-19. The theory suggested that adults struggling with persistent symptoms, those that linger for 12 weeks or more after initial infection, may be experiencing objectively measurable cognitive deficits. These deficits, it was proposed, would mainly affect executive functioning and memory. Now, this was particularly concerning for a certain group of individuals. These participants reported recent memory issues or difficulty thinking and concentrating, a phenomenon often colloquially termed as brain fog. It was thought that these individuals could be experiencing these cognitive impairments more profoundly. The study aimed to identify whether and how these symptoms manifest objectively. It intended to shed light on the cognitive impacts of COVID-19 and provide a clearer understanding of the persistent symptoms that some individuals face after recovery. Out of the 104,583 participants who initiated the online cognitive assessment, 112,964 completed it. Let's dive into what this study revealed. Participants who were recovering from COVID-19 and whose symptoms had resolved in less than 4 weeks, or at least 12 weeks, showed similar small deficits in global cognition as compared to the group who had not been infected with SARS-CoV-2. However, larger cognitive deficits were observed in participants with unresolved, persistent symptoms. Interestingly, the study also uncovered that larger deficits were seen in those infected with the original virus or the B.1.1.7 variant in comparison to those infected with later variants. Moreover, participants who had been hospitalized during their COVID-19 infection demonstrated more substantial cognitive deficits. These findings illuminate a potential relationship between COVID-19 and cognitive function. They highlight the need for further exploration and understanding of the virus's long-term effects on cognitive health. These results suggest that there might be a link between COVID-19 and cognitive deficits. So, what does this all mean for those who have recovered from COVID-19? Well, the study suggests that individuals who have experienced persistent symptoms after recovering from COVID-19 display cognitive function similar to those with shorter duration symptoms. This means that whether your symptoms lasted for a month or lingered for more than 12 weeks, the impact on your cognitive abilities is likely to be relatively similar. However, it's important to remember that even short-duration COVID-19 was still associated with small cognitive deficits after recovery. This suggests that the virus can affect our cognitive abilities regardless of the duration of symptoms. Despite these findings, it's crucial to note that the study also highlights that the longer-term persistence of these cognitive deficits is still unclear. We don't yet know how long these cognitive impacts might last, or what their broader clinical implications might be. However, the long-term persistence of these cognitive deficits and their clinical implications remain uncertain. More research is needed to fully understand the cognitive impact of COVID-19. Like, share, and subscribe.